So what's the structure of this freedom-killing cultural death machine? In other words, what's it made out of? What makes it tick? It's certainly not freedom and free will, that's for sure. Turns out, that's a complicated question. It requires a lot of research and a little bit of dedication and a willingness early on to be able to accept the fact that you might have had smoke blown up your ass before you started looking into it. Eventually, if you're a free-thinking, discriminating person, this is where you'll end up. If some of it's misinformation and bullshit, it's all misinformation and bullshit. Because if you don't understand how key parts of the machine work and how they link together, everything that comes after that, at least wise as far as we are taught how all this works, is suspect. Because the foundations are built on lies. Not that there aren't a few undeniable and indisputable truths sprinkled in along the way, but for the most part, at least what we see on our radar screen as far as what goes on in the government and all that, obviously, that's all bullshit. And then there are, obviously, at a minimum, 2 sets of rules in play. One for those who have access to the levers of power, and one for us regular smucks who can't do anything except for go in and cop a damn plea because we can't afford to go to court or take a chance on a public defender and stuff like that. Carlin put it best. It's a big club, and we're not in it. So, how does it work? Like I said before, that's a complicated question. But the basic parts are the same as the basic parts that go throughout our history. Power, money, greed, and lust. And those are the pathways to corrupt anyone. Because we are all born imperfect. So I guess really not into the ins and outs about all of this. The best thing to refer to would be Revelations in the Bible. If evil does exist, and in my estimation it does, that would be its handbook. Because it says exactly in Revelations what they should be trying to build. It doesn't say how to build it, but it says what the end result should be. And I'll be damned if that isn't exactly what they're trying to build looks like. There are those who would be willing to make the argument that it's all prophecy. There ain't a damn thing we can do about it because it's prophecy. I believe in free will, and I firmly believe that sure, it might have to happen, but it doesn't have to happen now. And it can only happen if we allow it by staying silent, looking the other way, censoring ourselves or allowing ourselves to be censored, so forth and so on. I could let all the maintenance go on this car. Sure I could. Stop doing anything to it and drive it till the wheels fall off. But it wouldn't last as long if I wasn't willing to invest a little bit of time, effort, and money in it along the way. The same can be said about a country. If you're not willing to put a little time and effort into it, understand what's wrong with it and what your part could be in fixing it, it's like volunteering it for the scrap heap. It's pretty obvious there are plenty of people out there who would be more than willing to scrap this country on something that has been advertised as better, but has never proven it could get the job done. Communism always ends in failure, sooner or later. And it is the destiny of any empire to be overthrown. We're a lot better off with what amounts to New Age ideas that were presented in the Constitution, where a regular person who doesn't hold all the power every day or doesn't have their hands on the lever has the same types of opportunities, and at the very least is exposed to the same kind of penalties should you decide to color outside the line. That's my take on it. As for what's wrong with this machine, how it's been infected and turned into something else, that becomes more obvious every single day, doesn't it? So I suppose this is the best part. They don't have anybody to blame but themselves, because they fell into it. What we've been witnessing, or what Donald Trump has set up politically for the Democrats, is what's called a series or a break in the military, when you're setting up explosive charges. The enemy walks into a trap, basically, and the first explosion is designed to create a certain reaction. And when they think they're escaped from the first one, the second one goes off, and that drives them someplace else, and it happens again, and it happens again. And eventually, your enemy is destroyed through their own actions, because you set up circumstances to facilitate that happening. They don't hate Donald Trump because he's a bad man. They hate Donald Trump because he represents the Constitution and justice. And they can no way, shape, or form have that and survive. So you don't have to know all of the ins and outs about how this machine works. It's really not required. All you have to do is understand that it is blowing up. And if things go along the lines that they have been
it's going to go right back to the people who exposed it in the first place. Obama for playing it fast and loose in his second term in the White House, and Hillary for letting the behind-the-scenes scam stuff come out because of her private server. And Joe Biden, his corruption, which was obviously going on while Obama and Hillary were doing their thing. That's just icing on the cake. It's just another charge in a series of explosives to take these people down the road of justice, which is exactly where they deserve to be. There won't be no plea deals at the end of this month. There isn't going to be no, or there better not be no, oh, well, you told us about this or release that, so we'll take it easy on you. No. The penalty for treason, according to the U.S. Constitution, is death. And if treason is proven, that sentence should be carried out immediately and publicly. Before someone decides to try and induce revelations and prophecy yet again, like I said before. Sure, it might have to happen, but it doesn't have to happen now.